Hello, and welcome to another edition of the Radio Mechanic, doing a review. A few weeks ago, we did a quick overview of the Baofeng, and this one's the UV-5G Pro GMRS radio. And after I finished that, I was online, and this thing popped up. This is the UV-5G Plus. That's its big brother. And I dropped a note to Radio Oddity and said, would you be willing to send me one of the Pluses to compare it to the Pro? And got an email back. They said it's in the mail and on the way. So thank you, Radio Oddity. This came to me at no cost to me whatsoever. And I've been looking these over for about a week and a half, playing with them, and just getting a feel for the differences. I just checked prices on Amazon, and right now you can get two of these for $38.24. That works out to $19.12 each. That's less than a $20 bill. However, for an additional $4, you can get this one. And for my money, that'd be the one I would buy. I expect that this one will disappear as soon as they sell off existing stock. I mean, with the price, I've seen it as low. When the radio first came in, I checked prices, and I found these for $1 more than this one. And right now, the prices change and they go fluctuate up and down a little bit. Right now, it's $4 more for this radio than it is for this one. This has an 1800 milliamp hour battery. This has a 2500 milliamp hour battery. So you're getting a lot more battery. I like the feel of this one, to be honest. It's got some heft to it. It feels, solid in the hand. This thing's very diminutive. We'll get it out of its charging base and set it down there side by side. This would be great for the kids, but I don't think this belt clip will last long with the kids. But if this thing gets dropped, either one of these get dropped and destroyed, at that price, who cares? The advantage to this guy is it'll fit right in your shirt pocket. It's slim. This is quite a bit thicker because of the bigger battery, and it's just a bigger case overall. This guy can drop right in your shirt pocket, so you wouldn't even need like a speaker mic. You just leave it in your front shirt pocket, which is kind of a handy thing, I guess. When you buy these radios, you have to approach this as these are throwaways. These are disposable radios. At these prices, you're never going to repair one of these if it quits working. You're just going to throw it. It's going to be e-waste. It's just more e-waste. You figure just about any shop rate, repair rate is going to be between 30 and 50, or maybe higher. I don't know. I haven't brought anything in for a long time. I'm probably way off base there. But whatever it is today, it's going to cost you more than the radio to have it fixed. It's cheaper to throw it away and buy another one. We did receiver sensitivity. I ran through both of these again. Receiver sensitivity on both of them is actually quite good. Now this one's spec'd at 0.2 of a microvolt for 12 dB SINAD, and it's actually about 0.11, so it beats the specification, or it beats the claim spec in the book. This one is rated a little higher at 0.25, and it is a little higher. It's 0.13 in actuality, but both of those numbers are pretty good. Nothing there to complain about. This is claimed 4 watts output. It's about 3.2 to 3.5 depending on which end of the UHF band you're on. This one claims 5 watts, and it's a solid 5 watts, actually almost 5.2 watts out on this one. That doesn't make a lot of difference. The difference between 4 watts and 5 watts isn't very big. On receive, they both do FM radio. Now what's interesting in the specifications at the back of the manual, they don't say anything about this receiving FM, but it does. They both receive the FM, commercial FM band. They both receive aircraft band. They'll both receive the ham bands, VHF and UHF. They'll both receive NOAA, National Weather Service, and of course they do all the channels on GMRS, FRS. Using GMRS, especially at the 5-watt level with removable antennas, you're supposed to have a GMRS license. Now the license, I think $35 for a 10-year license, $3.50 a year it costs you. And there's no test. It's, you go online, you fill out a form with your name and address and send them the money, and the license electronically is sent to you. You print it out. The UV-5G Pro, I have trouble getting that series of letters and numbers out. They claim this is 500 milliwatts of audio. This one claims 1 watt of audio. Now, I'll just say that both of them have sufficient volume, even in a noisy environment, to be heard. And the clarity is pretty good on receive. No complaints. They both have multiple scan functions. You can do a frequency scan, you can do a channel scan, you can do a band scan, and there's functions where if you hear a frequency you like, you can push a button, throw it into memories. Speaking of memories, oh, and there's multiple functions: stop on scan, stop, resume on scan. There's just a myriad of different functionality in the scans, like most of the modern handhelds today. This one has 128 memories. This one has 999 memories. Now, to me, that means nothing, to be truthful. I can't keep track of 50. My mobile radios in the car, my ham radios, have 1,000 channel capability of memory. I think I've got 10 of them loaded in and used. Nobody, I can't imagine anybody ever using 999 memories, but it's there if you need it. They both do DTMF, encode, decode. They both do encode for tone, PL tone, encode, decode. They do that. They also have a digital, what's the word I'm looking for? Squelch. DCS, digitally controlled squelch. The way that works is you and your buddy decide on a code that you're going to have your squelch on, and you can be in a very busy area, active area, with a lot of people operating on the same channel. You won't hear anything until your buddy calls you and sends that digitally coded squelch. When he transmits, it'll automatically transmit the code, and it will open the squelch on your radio. So when the squelch opens on your radio, you know it's him calling you, or her, whoever, but it will only respond to that digital code that he's sending. You can turn that function on or off, and that's kind of a handy function to have. They do search functions. You can search a band or search channels, but the band search, it just steps in increments through the frequency of the band, and you can go in steps of 2.5, 5, 6.25, 10, 12.5, 20, 25, or 50 kilohertz steps on the band scan. They both have a 2-line alphanumeric display. Both of them are pretty easy to read.
Channel mode.
You can, I don't know if the camera's seeing that. And this one's a full color display. This is actually a nice display on this one. It will.
Channel mode.
So they both have a very readable display. This one just has the ability to change the color of the LED backlight. But this one's a full color display. But I find them both easy to use in both daylight and at night to read. It's very, very easy to read the display. They both have a reverse function, and if you operate repeaters, you know what a reverse function is. You have an input to the repeater that you transmit on, and the repeater transmits on a second frequency, which the guy on the other end listens to. And when he transmits, it reverses. He transmits on the input to the repeater, and you listen to the output. With the reverse function, if you're talking to somebody, there's a button. You just press a button, and it's different on one to the other. I forget which is which. But you press the button, and you're listening to the input of the repeater. And if you can hear the guy who's talking to you on the input, then you know that you have a clear line of sight between the two of you. And you can drop off the repeater and go what's called simplex, where you talk directly to one another and don't need to use the repeater. It's a handy function. We use that on the ham radio a lot for walking, especially if I'm on the mobile. I'll hit the reverse button, and if I can hear the guy I'm talking to clearly, I'll just say, hey, let's go over to simplex, 5.7 or whatever, and we'll jump over there and free the repeater up for other users. One thing that annoys me on both of these, they both have that stupid, ignorant, useless alarm function, which it annoys me to no end, because all it does is muddy up a channel. You press a button, and the radio goes into transmitting an alarm tone, and it flashes the flashlight. It's useless, because if you get into trouble and you press the alarm function, and somebody hears this channel, on the channel, they hear this alarm going, they're not going to know where it's coming from. By the time you've rounded up somebody with a directional antenna, better to have two people so you can zero in on the direction. By the time that all takes place, you'll have run your battery dead from the continuous transmission. They'll never find you. If you have a problem, you get on the radio, you say, I need help, I'm at coordinate such and such, or I'm located here, can you send assistance. Pressing a button that just transmits an alarm tone is absolutely useless, and again, it just muddies up a channel so that channel can't be used. And there's no GPS in this. It's not transmitting your location, it's just transmitting noise, and I don't understand why they put that function in there. I think it attracts those who like a lot of buttons and flashy lights, but it does nothing useful. And all it does is, again, it muddies up a channel, and if you don't like I'm going on about that, tough. It's stupid. They both have VFO memory function. You can tune it manually, or you can switch between you can switch between the VFO and the memories, channel memory. Oh, and if you're going to be programming these, you can do it all from the keypad, but that gets tedious real quick. You can buy the programming cable. These don't come with the programming cable. In fact, I should have covered that. This radio comes with a USB-C connector. This radio comes with a charging base and this silly little headset piece, which is all but worthless. The audio quality on that thing is just horrible. And I'm not the only one who said that. Other reviewers have said the same thing about this. The good news is they use Kenwood accessories. It's a Kenwood spacing on the jacks here. So if you have Kenwood accessories or Baofeng accessories, they'll work on these radios. This radio charges in the base. There's no facility to charge this other than using the charging base. And the charging base runs on 120 volts. So if you're without 120 volts, recharging that, there's options you can purchase, but as it comes, you can't charge this from anything but the AC base. This one charges from this cable here, and it's a USB-C, and most cars have a USB outlet in them. It's easy to charge this one. It just plugs right into the back of the radio here, and you're in business. Unfortunately, it isn't programmable by USB-C. This needs that special 2-prong cable that plugs into the speaker mic connection. For my money, if I was going to get the programming software, I wouldn't download from China the Chinese software. I just won't have it. If you want backdoors on your computer, be my guest. RT Systems sells a very nice software. I use RT Systems on my mobile radio, on all of my equipment that's programmable. I use RT Systems software. It's well written, it works beautifully, it's flawless, and you can buy the Baofeng cable, I guess, and use it with the RT Systems, or you can buy the RT Systems kit. Now, the RT Systems software only is $25, which is the same price as the radio. However, it's worth the money. If you buy their system with the cable, it's $50. Their interface cables are a little bit pricey, but their software is, bar none, the best I've used. Vox. They have, both of these have Vox function. And if you've never used Vox, it is so useful. Let's say you're out with your buddy four-wheel driving and you're running winch lines back and forth, somebody's stuck. You put on the headset with a boom microphone and you set this on Vox, and he's in the Jeep with the same setup. He's got his headset with the boom mic and he's on Vox. You're hands free. When you're working, you're hands free. All you have to do is talk and the radio goes into transmit mode. And that level is adjustable. You'll see a lot of people just swing the boom mic up away from their mouth so heavy breathing won't set it off. But when you want to talk, you just keep the mic in front of you, and as soon as you talk, the radio will go into transmit mode, and it makes it so easy to communicate back and forth and coordinate between a group of people trying to do something like get a car out of a ditch or mountaineering, climbing, whatever. Vox is a very handy, useful function. They both have dual watch, and that's where you put your two favorite channels in. You can have a primary and a secondary band, A and B, and it'll periodically switch back and forth and monitor the two channels. So if you don't know which channel for sure your buddy's coming up on, and it's one of two, you can program them both in. Let's see, we talked about the coded squelch. We talked about dual watch, Vox, repeater tones. That has all the PL tones for the, PL tones, private line tones for the repeater. I think that covers 90% of it. Now these books are full of features. You could spend the rest of your afternoon pouring through here and figuring out how to program and how to scan the different scan functions. It would take hours to go through all of that. But as far as one versus the other, for $4 more you get 2500 milliampere versus 1800 milliamp hour. In fact, that battery's awful small. 2800 is a nice, or 2500 is a nice battery to have. 5 watts versus a claimed 4, but about 3.5, 3.2 to 3.5. It's nice to have the FM function. They both basically have the same functionality. 128 memories, 999. And again, that's more for bragging rights. I've got 999 memories. Whatever. I do like the feel of this one in my hand, but that's personal choice. But the fact that this is rechargeable in the car or anywhere I'm on the run, I don't have to worry about bringing a charging base with me. That'd be my choice. So that's it, short and sweet. I'm not going to belabor it coming from a country that subsidizes and yada yada yada. Everybody knows that story if you watch my channel. But they're not a bad radio. I have to grudgingly say they make a decent little radio now. They've eliminated that silly little metal plate that used to be screwed to the front, and they have a nice little integrated package. They've come a long way. Oh, both transmitters are clean. Very, very clean. No out of spectrum crap coming out of either one of these. Very clean transmitters. They've stepped up their game, obviously. Okay, that's it. Short and sweet. I'm the Radio Mechanic. Take your choice, pay your money, take your choices. $4 more, I'd buy that one. See you later.